What's up everybody, it's Josh from the Underground Garage. If you followed the channel for a while or seen some of the older videos that I've done, there was a lot of stuff about paint, how to paint cars, that sort of thing. I painted probably 30 or 40 complete cars and a few hundred panels. And one thing that surprised me, the vast majority of questions that I got about that process were buffing, polishing, waxing, that sort of thing. So I don't have a fresh paint job here, but what I do have is an incredibly derelict 2002 Chevy Malibu. The car's black, it hasn't been waxed in probably a decade. The paint has been very much abused. So I thought I would do a video on the buffing, the polishing, the waxing, on the process that I go through to correct a car like this, to do paint correction. It's a little different than the process I would use on a brand new paint job. I think most people out there though are probably trying to correct issues on their existing car as opposed to trying to buff or polish a brand new paint job. So let's get to it. If you're going to try something like this, there's a couple things you're going to need. At the most basic level, you're going to need a buffer, a pad, and some compound. There's various degrees of aggressiveness that you can get with these products. This is a wool pad. It's nothing crazy. This is a $6 or $7 wool pad from the parts store. You could spend $40 or $50 on wool pads if you need to. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're trying to learn what to do. At that stage of your buffing evolution, this $6 or $7 pad from the parts store is going to be fine. This is just some 3M rubbing compound. Maybe I'll post something in the description or something, a link to where I got this, and just some spray detailer. You're going to want to make sure the car is clean. This one did get washed before it came in here. I'm going to wipe it down one time with the spray detailer. And then you're going to want to make sure that your wool pad is moist. So I'm going to hit that with the spray detailer a little bit, and then we'll put some compound on there. So this is the first time that I've used this pad in quite a while, so that's maybe twice as much compound as you would normally use. If you had used the pad yesterday or something like that, you could use about half that much compound. I run the buffer pretty slow. With the compound, I'm down at not quite 2,000 RPMs, about 1,800. And really the only way to learn how to do this is to go ahead and do it. The first one that I did, I picked up a bumper or a bumper cover off the side of the road that was in the ditch that had been left over from an accident. And so I brought that home just to practice on and that sort of thing. The concern that people have when they use a rotary buffer, especially with a wool pad, is you can burn through the paint, especially the edges. You can burn the edges off, you can leave swirl marks in it, all that sort of stuff. So the slower speed, 1,800 RPM, that's going to help. Like on this edge right here, the buffer is going to spin clockwise. So have the buffer come off the edge as opposed to the wool pad trying to climb up on it. So that's going to help you keep from burning the edge. And when I do it, the working area of the pad is usually about a 3-hour position on the clock. So I'd push the pad this way and work for maybe 9 to 12. Or if I'm going this way, I would maybe work from 12 to 3. I use about a quarter of the pad each where I'm going. I'm not ever trying to take the entire pad and get the entire pad touching the car. So here we go. I don't know if you can hear it bog down the buffer like that, but what's going on there, the compound that's on the car has started to dry, and so the wool pad is really grabbing onto that compound. If it's colder out, you'll have a little bit longer working time. If it's hot out, you may not be able to work more than a minute or two before the compound starts to dry and it really starts aggressively grabbing the pad and trying to bog the buffer down. One thing you can do is just take your detail spray and just slightly dampen the panel, and that'll restore that lubricity, I guess you'd call it, and you can keep on trucking with your buffer. So that's pretty much it on the buffing stage. So what we're trying to do here, heavy scratches, heavy oxidation, we're just being real aggressive, taking all that stuff out of there. So we'll move on to polishing next. After the buffing's done, I'll just take a clean microfiber towel and a little bit of detailing spray. I still want there to be any compound left on the panel for the next step. I've changed pads. I've got a foam pad on the machine now. This foam pad is like a medium for aggressiveness on the pad. So if you have a medium aggressive pad and you use a more aggressive product like a compound as opposed to a polish, you can get that medium pad to cut a little more. Or if you use like a wax on the medium pad, it will cut less. So you can adjust how aggressive your process is two ways, either with the chemical or with the pad. So I've got a medium cut pad right here, and then this is like a medium cut cleaner as well. So this has got some polish to it, help restore some of the shine, that sort of thing. So same thing, moisten this guy a little bit. This is, like I said, is more of a polish than the compound, so I can speed the machine up a little bit and not have to worry about micromars, holograms, things like that. Keep going until the project's either gone or it's turned clear. If it's not turned clear, all the abrasives are right now, so that's what it's going to do. And so just keep on trucking until it's clear. As you get better at this, there's a dip in the body. There's a body line right here, a contour. So as I move over that contour, I can't really get down inside. As you get better at this and more experience with it, you're going to be able to take the corner of this pad and run down this line. The problem with that is if the same portion of the pad, this corner, as it rubs along here, it's going to generate a tremendous amount of heat. And if you sit there too long, you will burn through the paint, and it will happen almost instantly. You'll be going along and just bam, there'll be a big stripe where you burn through the paint. So I've been doing it long enough to where I'm comfortable enough to where I'm going to be able to do that, but that's what this looks like, or I'm about to show you. So you'll see what it looks like to turn the thing on its corner and jet down that body line. So I know we don't have like infrared vision or anything on the camera, but the panel is room temperature right here. I would say right here in this corner where I just ran the buffer, it's probably close to 100 degrees. So it is tremendously warmer right here. So, and like I said, that's the danger of running the corner along a body line like that. So if you're gonna try that, just be aware that you could damage some stuff. So like I said, first time I tried it, I was on a bumper that I picked up off the side of the road. So get you something to practice on before you try that. So we're done polishing on the panel now. Like I said, that was more of a medium aggressive polish. So we're gonna go to an ultra fine polish now. This one's from 3M. Same as before. I'm just going to wipe the panel. We just want to make sure all of the more aggressive compound is gone before we move on to the next step. This pad is brand new, so I'm going to take my fingers and just kind of rub the chemical around. I just want to try to get most of the pad. I want the whole pad working for me as opposed to just a portion of it. On this step, if you're in a production environment, you're in a hurry, you really can. You can wind the buffer up pretty good on this step. I'm going to actually go the other way. I'm going to slow it down because I like to be able to watch what it's doing, and I can actually watch it remove the holograms, remove any micro marring. But like I said, you can run it pretty fast and not have to worry about damaging anything at this step. So this pad, this is a no-cut pad. Theoretically, if this pad was just, you had water on the car, you could run this pad on it and it wouldn't do hardly anything to the car. It's not designed to remove anything. All of the removal that's happening is due to the chemical that's on the car right now. Alright, on our ultra fine polish, it's going to turn kind of clear. It's going to be very difficult to get it to go completely away. It's just not how the product is designed to work. So when it turns clear, all of the abrasives are broken down and you're no longer correcting anything. You're just kind of moving goo around, not doing anything. So that's where we're at now. So we'll stop, we'll wipe it off with detail spray, we'll put a little bit of wax on it, and we'll see how we did. At this point, taking your wax off when you're all done, it's very important you have a clean, high quality microfiber towel. The ones you get from Harbor Freight or where it's $10 and you get 100 of them in a bag, they're gonna leave lines. Somebody with a good eye is gonna be able to see the lines, the micro marring that the towel leaves behind. Gryatt's Garage, or somebody like that, another high quality microfiber towel is what you're gonna wanna use. All right, let's pull the tape off. All right, tape's coming off. I think the difference from the side we did to the old side is pretty clear. But just to kind of demonstrate the reflectivity, the clarity, all that. So hopefully the reflection of the light showing up. You can see we've got, you can read the name on the light, count the LEDs, just how hazy and dull it is over here. Pretty tremendous difference in the car from there to there. Maybe we'll pull it outside and try to get a shot in the daylight. Here's the car outside. We've got one of our Underground Garage t-shirts. Hopefully you can see in the shot right there how clear the reflection is in the shirt. You can read what the shirt says. And hopefully I can get over here. And you can just see how muddled and not clear. Just the lack of reflectivity, the lack of shine, all that stuff. So the buffing and all that's not rocket science. You guys can do it. It just takes a little practice. One last thing for everybody, if you do something like this to your car, depending on where you live, the rainwater, you may have hard water that's got a lot of minerals in it, so the rainwater is going to want to leave deposits on the car as it dries. So this is a really good idea if you guys live in a climate like that. I've just got some wind. What I'm trying to show is how easily the water falls off or is removed from the smooth side of the paint versus where we didn't do any corrective work. So on this side, the water is way less apt to stick. It's way more apt to blow off as you drive around or even run off and land on the ground just due to gravity. So that's going to help the car maintain this appearance longer because the water is not going to sit on there and dry and leave behind mineral deposits. So it's a really good idea, especially if you live somewhere where the rainwater is a hard water. As always, really appreciate the like, the subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. My sincerest hope is that this video helps somebody out there. Go out there and work on your stuff, man. Get your stuff done. I'll put some links in the description to some of the products that I used. And the Underground Garage t-shirts, they're on sale as well. So I'll put a link to those in the description. So thanks again, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next video.